Hello, my name is Andrew Jenkins, Technical Specialist with Carahcat. Today we're going to look at creating data shortcuts or reference files in your Civil 3D 2012. Some advantages of using data shortcuts includes multiple users may access one file at a time, shared objects and data across multiple drawings. You have full control of the object's display styles. You will receive a notification of changes in the base. Data shortcuts help to reduce the size of the file. It also helps to organize and manage drawing projects. Some limitations of data shortcuts includes moving or renaming files and folders will present issues. Data shortcuts create XML files for each object referenced. And you cannot share survey or Kogel point data due to use of data shortcuts. So let's look at the process of creating data shortcuts. First, we're going to insert an ASCII file of points or point data. And we're going to build a surface from those points. First, we'll update my point group. So I'm going to create a surface and we'll give it the name Demo EG. And we're going to define that surface, point groups SS, and it creates our contours. And before we turn this into a data shortcut or create a data shortcut, we want to address some of the issues with our surface. I'm going to address this at the surface level by selecting surface, the surface properties, the definition tab. On build, we're going to say exclude elevations less than. We have a point that's creating a hole in our surface, so we're going to say exclude any elevations less than 5 meters. And we have a triangulation length, maximum triangulation length we want to use. We're going to say yes. And the maximum triangulation length is going to be 350 meters. That should take care of the point that's jetting off to the left. We're going to say OK. It's prompting us to rebuild the surface, and that addresses the issues we're having. So we're ready to create our data shortcut of this existing surface. Here in Data Shortcuts on the Prospector tab of the tool space, we have data shortcuts of which we can create surfaces, alignments and their profiles, pipe networks, and view frame groups. So in our case, we're going to create a data shortcut of a surface. But first, we must set the data shortcut path. So we're going to right-click on Data Shortcut, and we're going to set the working folder. So this will be the project folder where your drawing will be held. In our case, we're going to say the Civil 3D class. Say OK. And it creates the path for our data shortcut. We're going to right-click on here once again, and we're going to say create a new data shortcut project folder. a project folder. In our case, we're going to call it Web Demo. Will be the name of our folder. We'll say OK. Now we're ready to create our data shortcut. We right-click on Data Shortcuts again. When we select Create Data Shortcut, we get an advisement that the drawing has not yet been saved. So we're going to say OK, and we're going to save the drawing first. And let's place it in our folder. In this case, we're going to call it Web Project. Now we're going to right-click on Data Shortcuts and say Create the Data Shortcuts. We see in the dialog box the models or objects that can be created into data shortcuts. In our case, we only have one surface. I'm going to say OK. And it creates the data shortcut. Now notice the name of the drawing now. It's Web Project, DWG, and it is associated with the Web Demo project folder. So we'll close out this drawing. And it asks us to save it. We've already saved it to create that. Now we're going to open an existing project. That we've decided we're going to reference the existing surface into. So in our prospector, we have our path to that data shortcut, and now we have a plus sign next to surfaces, and we see the surface Demo EG. There are no surfaces currently in this drawing. So we're going to right click on Data or Demo EG, and we're going to say Create the Reference. Here's the name of the surface. We have the option here, or the ability to rename it. We can also choose to set a different style that's associated, that's available in this particular drawing. Let's say OK. And it creates the reference surface into this drawing. We now have a surface in this drawing. I expand it. You'll see it's Demo EG, and there's a little icon next to the name, which indicates that it is data referenced into this drawing. I expand here. You will notice there is no definition, no ability to redefine this surface from this drawing. We would have to open the drawing, the base drawing, where this surface is located in order to make any changes to it. So this surface here is referenced into our drawing. However, if I hold my cursor over it, I can still get intelligent data from this surface. If I select onto the surface, my ribbon updates, and I can add labels and a slope value. I can also add spot elevations to this surface. And I can add contour labels to the surface. I can also erase those labels and lining repairs. I can select onto the surface and change the surface style. So although this is a reference surface, I still have the ability to control the display of it, and as well as gather intelligent information about this surface. So unlike an XREF, Data Shortcut's a lot more flexible and allows you to reap the benefits of the geometry from that object. Here now I'm ready to begin building my design, and in this case a roadway, onto the surface. So data shortcuts give you enormous benefits of having those data shortcuts into your drawing, so that you can still gather volume information, allow other people to share this surface to get their design work as well while you're using it as well. So we have the benefit of using that just as you would with an XREF, but it gives you a lot more flexibility. So I hope this brief demonstration of data shortcuts has been useful for you. I certainly look forward to helping you implement the data shortcut process into your design work. Please visit carocad.com.au to see other webinars that we have in store. Thank you once again. My name is Andrew Jenkins, Technical Support for Carocad.